Hello everyone, this is Black117 here, and yeah, so now we're in playoffs in Dgba for D2. Um, so basically those are like probably noticed if everyone's watching the series that like there wasn't a week 10. Well, I think my opponent Foodle, I think his yes, I think that's his name. He did say that he wasn't he didn't have time to like prep, so and also since he was out of playoffs, the match wouldn't have like kind of like affected like the standings in whatever fashion. Probably was gonna meme that game, but still, like if the guy wasn't in the mood to battle, then I was like, all right, then I'll just get the forfeit win. So yeah. So on that note, we did end off the season on a 9-1 record, or 8-1, however you want to say it. So and as well, so we do get the first seed in the playoffs, and as you already for those of you who already seen this like my battles, you already know who I'm probably gonna be facing. So my first opponent, I actually didn't know who the person was gonna be, since they did this thing where they'd wait until the very end to like announce it, and I looked at the standings and I just kind of had a feeling who it was gonna be between, but it was either gonna be two people or like one, if like that, or three, depending on how it went. But between Vivano and Luke, and I think whoever lost pretty much had to face me in round one, unless it depends how differentials are and whatnot, and personal records and all that. So, but long story short, and you already saw the answer right on your screen because of the whole little thing right there. So but yeah, we've been facing Luke against Luke, and not gonna lie, this is one of the more, I guess you could say, the matchup against him is somewhat so-so. He has a lot of walls that I have to deal with. Of course, Celesteela, Florge, and Snorlax is a very ridiculous defensive core right there. Then you have stuff like Rotom, Quillfish, even Rhydon right there. I kind of don't count Simisage and Rufflet since I don't even think they'll be appearing, since this is actually a game to try to win. So, or for all the marbles or whatever. So yeah. As you can see, I have my team listed here, and I have his team listed here, so you guys can see what I have, and I'll just be explaining my team briefly. So yeah. So basically, from Pokemon I expect him to bring was basically between, say, Gallade, because that's probably one of his best offensive pressure mons. Snorlax, maybe with the Curse Set, or even the Belly Drum, which, if you didn't watch that game, I'll leave a link to the last game I battled Luke. That game was interesting pretty vividly, so yeah. So I expect Gallade and Snorlax. Florge is probably likely, because Heal Bell, Defog, Wish, Support. It's one of the few fairies that could kind of do it all. So Celesteela, I was kind of I don't know if he was gonna bring it that week or against me, given how from that alone, he probably, I thought he would probably bring something let's say Rhydon this time around, and even let's say Necrozma, since after what happened with a certain bird, as you see. So I definitely think he was gonna bring a Rotom Heat. So it's just yeah, between Gallade, Florge, Snorlax, Celesteela, and then Rotom. So I don't know about Celesteela, maybe the last two being Necrozma, Rhydon, or something like that. So but then again, I don't really focus too much on whenever playing for winner take all games, or playoff games. I'm just kind of all right, so let's try to see what I could do. So sort of try to cover for everything, while at the same time try to keep what I have in store for him. So yeah. So Well, without further ado, let's just get into the matchup. So the first Pokemon we have on the screen is basically Tapu with modest choice specs. I think all season I pretty much ran it with like a Z move. I decided this time around I finally, you know what, I'm just gonna bring like a much more pivot offensive, or not, sort of like an offensive pivot. And this is basically like, if he somehow doesn't bring like Rhydon, I could pretty much guarantee get like good chip damage against everything on his team. Like Florges, I think it takes like around 30%. Like if it's like non-Spadef. But if it's Spadef, then it's like, it means that like some of my other Pokemon, like let's say Kangaskhan, can deal with it. So yeah. So I have Volt Switch just to like get like switch initiative, just to get a pivot into it, especially like if he switches out. So of course, I don't mind like switching if he stays in. So yeah, I'm just getting free chip damage. That's the point of it. Thunderbolts, of course, is like pretty strong in of itself. So especially with modest choice specs. So yeah, and Dazzling Beam, of course, is for Hydreigon. Pretty much hitting like Rhydon for good chip damage. I was thinking about putting Hidden Fire Water, but I just kind of wanted to like have something else. I wanted to have Volt Switch just for the switch potential switch initiative in case he switches out himself. Since I always wanted to pressure something on his team while getting good chip damage. Dazzling Games, of course, for Hydreigon and like Gallade. I just wanted to have something to kill both of them in just one shot, even if they have like, let's say like Gallade. Oh, Gallade could be Spadef if it wants to be. Hydreigon has to be like very like Spadef or whatever. So yeah, the last move is like pretty much a tech option I thought of, and this was something that I've seen from like this is like from way back. I think some of you guys don't know, but like I used to play a lot of like VGC like 17, and there was this one Coco set that always kind of interested me, and that was Electro Ball, and I was kind of like, and it was even used on like certain Scarf Cocos, and the way it was that you just you pretty much hit Snorlax for like 150 damage. Of course, like with this Coco, this modest set, it's like basically like 120 because of the whole like power, but still, like that's still pretty ridiculous if you think about it. Like that's basically having a Thunder from like, you know, back in like Gen 5 and below. So and the way this works is that like if, let's say if Snorlax goes for a Curse, that means I have a base 150 special electric type move that's gonna hit a Snorlax very hard, and it doesn't OHKO, but it does like the, if he's just like regular Snorlax, but like that's not speedy or in any way, which I doubt he's like puts any speedy Vs. This thing just does 120, which is still ridiculous with specs and with the electric terrain. But anything else on his team is still going to get chipped down really hard. So it's still like going to be like around the base 60 or 80 power like electric move, all boosted by like, you know, set boost and whatnot. So yeah. So basically speaking, this is meant to hit Snorlax for heavy damage. You could also hit Necrozma, but like that's if Necrozma has no like speed investment. And of course, I have Thunderbolt just to hit everything for like neutral, not neutral, but like for just general damage. So yeah, Electro Ball is basically just to smack Snorlax in the face. So yeah, in case he tries to set up like curses or whatnot. So especially like once he gets a curse drop, I'll get the 150 like power boost instead of like 120 as usual. So yeah. So anyways, get on to the next Pokemon. So here we have Slick. By the way, I've named this after my good old friend Slick from PFA. So that's, you're wondering where the name is. What's the name of, or what's the reason why I named Keldy after? That's his team. It's based on his team. So yeah. So we're bringing another Choice Specs Pokemon. Now this time I was like, you know, there is a good chance that Hydreigon wasn't going to be brought. So I decided, you know what, like just F it, just run another Spexmon, but this time I'm just going to put Modest. Instead of like, like timid per usual. The reason why is because this gives me a better chance to 2-hit KO like Florges with rocks up on the field. And especially if he doesn't have like any special defense investment. Obviously this obliterates like Necrozma, this can also like this can do heavy damage to Hydreigon, even with Surf and like other Pokemon like Rotom, the Quillfish, even if he brings it, Snorlax. But of course I have Secret Sword for that, so and also Focus Blast in case that thing gets out of hand with curses. So yeah, that's why I have it there. So I also have like Surf over like Scald because I have like I intend to like try to toxic his whole team around. So yeah, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So then we have Kangaskhan with Body Slam, Pyro Punch, Wish, Protect. It's kind of Spadef, but honestly, I wasn't gonna like. Kangaskhan was main purpose is just to like kind of like potentially set up once Gallade is gone, but of course like some of his Pokemon could have like Rocky Helmet stuff and whatnot. I am taking a risk because last time I did have Low Kick in case like Snorlax became too crazy, and I could have dealt with the Snorlax with Low Kick Kangaskhan, but this time I felt like, you know what, he might not bring the Belly Drum set, so this time probably go more like a standard Curse, but I still have to be worried about that. So I do, and I have my own countermeasures for it. So Protect is basically a way for me to scout out whatever he wants to do, and also to get back the Wish. So yeah, not really much to say. Like again, like this is very Spadef based, and this mod's also basically meant to take on Necrozma as well. Since of course I have no, I did swap out Keldeo for Scrafty, and I was kind of like concerned about Necrozma being like, you know, like especially offensive. So yeah. Anyways, so that's pretty much what I have to have for Kangaskhan. So here we have a non-attacking move with Score, and I actually brought the same set from like last time. The only reasoning is that like obviously he has like certain Pokemon like Rotom, Celesteela. Of course Celesteela walls me to hell. However, Gliscor can wall Celesteela if it's like a standard variant, like, you know, no hidden power ices and whatnot. So I do have Taunt just to prevent like stuff like Snorlax, stuff like Necrozma, stuff like you know, Florges from like, you know, this is sort of like technically a stall breaker. That in a way, like pretty much get like I pretty much go for Taunt, shut down whatever the Pokemon are going for, and then have a Toxic up. This also can be helpful to check Mega Gallade if it doesn't have Ice Punch. But of course, Gallade can set up pretty easily. Can set up a Sword Sense before I get a Taunt, so I gotta keep that in mind. So yeah. But that being said, like I do have to put up rocks, and I do want to have a Pokemon that can set up rocks because, you know, Rotom can be annoying, switching around. So yeah. And of course I have Rose because recovery, so yeah. So the next Pokemon I have is Lillet, or Comfy, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. Like, I have a Comfy set that's basically like Rocky Helmet, Draining Kiss. It's sort of like a pseudo Cleric set, with difference is this thing having Aromatherapy and Kangaskhan having Wish support. So basically this set is designed to, one, obviously wall the hell out of Gallade, potentially, because of course Gallade can always smack me. Poison Jab. I have Rocky Helmet just to have like get as much chip damage on Gallade as possible. I have Drain Kiss to recover back, as well as Sanitas, especially with the Triage ability. So I'm always gonna like, it's similar to that of like, you know, 6th gen's Talonflame, so I could always get off recovery. And the last move I have here is Leech Seed, which is pretty interesting. And the reason why I have Leech Seed is because I know Celesteela will wall me, but you know what? I thought about like other moves, like let's say Taunt, Defog, but I felt that like Leech Seed could help me long term versus this guy. being able to like seed Snorlax, seed the Celesteela. And if Celesteela is still like the flying, you know, stab, air slash variant, then I'm still gonna be okay in this situation, so yeah. So, and I'll still get recovery, so yeah. And last but not least, we have Moltres with auto-attacking, Flamethrower, Toxic, Roar, Roost. Basically just to roar out Snorlax in case it comes in. Toxic stuff in case Gliscor can't. Pretty much stop any setup, especially from Snorlax from Necrozma. It can wall Gallade unless if for some reason it Gallade or something, or Gallade or Hydreigon, Rhydon or whoever has a rock coverage option, so I gotta be wary about Moltres. But to be honest, I don't really think Moltres is like as important in this game. But of course, like it worked last time, so it's able to wall like at least it can at least stop, let's say, a Combine Sweep from like Florges. So yeah, unless that thing has like, you know, HP Rock. But I mean, who knows like what's gonna happen in this game. So well, anyways, that's my team for Luke. So I'll be heading into the battle. So be right back. Alright, so we're back. So hopefully guys, for those of you guys who went to the timestamp, I'm just gonna briefly go over my team. I have Specs, Coco, and Keldeo. Sort of a Wish protecting with Body Slam, up, and yeah, pretty much that's it. That's especially defensive. Pretty much a stall breaker Gliscor. Rocky Helmet Comfy, that's kind of defensive on both ends. And same with Moltres. Designed to take on Gallade, as you see right there on the screen. So looking at Luke's team, he has a pretty interesting squad. Most notably the fact that like he didn't bring like Rhydon and what was it, the other mon? Necrozma, so at least we're good on that end, so I don't have to deal with those two. So that pretty much means that Tapu Koko could pretty much full switch around his entire team for like free, so yeah. Unless, of course, I have to like pretty much scout for possible like choice scarfers, so yeah. Like I don't think like Florges or like Snorlax or like Celesteela will be choice scarf, but like Rotom and Hydreigon look very, very likely, so yeah, so that's where I'm gonna lead. He goes with Hydreigon and he goes to top, and I go to Tapu Koko, or Tapu. So I'm assuming this thing is probably choice scarf. So I'm like, alright, so I wonder what he's gonna do. I wonder what this Hydreigon's gonna do. So obviously I don't want to lose Coco because I'm not like a Roost variant, so and I don't want to lose, and this is my best Pokemon for this battle, so I'm just gonna like switch out, go to Gliscor, see what he wants to do. He goes for Earth Power, so that leads me to believe that he may be Scarf. So the very good thing is that now I have Toxic Orb, or I have my Poison Heal up, so unlike last game where like I got knocked off by like Gallade. That was kind of bad on my end, so yeah, so at least we're able to get our Toxic Orb up, so and get our recovery every turn, so yeah. Here he goes for Dark Pulse, and that's actually really good information for me to know, because now I pretty much know that this thing is not Scarfed. And the other Pokemon, Rotom, might be, so I'm trying to make this, I mean, Florges could be, but you know, like, it's mostly there for like Cleric support, so yeah. So at this point, I pretty much have a lot of information on my hand, so I already know what this thing can do. I could take most Dark Pulses and like from this thing with the recovery I have, the Poison Heal, so I'm not really concerned at the moment. So, but I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna comfy. I don't want to take any much damage, so this time I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go set up a Leech Seed right now, and yeah, try to get like some recovery. So yeah, I could have got Toxic with Gliscor, but I was like, you know what, I want to see what I can do. So he goes to Florges, switching out as I go to Kangaskhan, which pretty much gives me a lot of like initiative right now, since I can pretty much start going for Body Slams, like Paras potentially on this team, or I could just go up or set up right now. So Of course, Gallade could switch in, so I decided, I'm just gonna go play it safe, go for the body slams. So this thing is leftover, so at least we know that this thing is not Choice Scarf. So I do go for body slam. It does a lot of damage right there, even for like like a even for like this Florge, like that still does enough to like well over like around the 50% mark. So I know this thing is not defensive, and of course this thing goes for defog. So at this point, I pretty much can tell you that this thing's not good Spizdeath. So he goes to Rotom, as I do get some chip on this thing, and apparently this thing is Rocky Helmet. So yeah. On the contrary belief, Rotom is pretty much the one Pokemon that could be annoying for me for the rest of this game. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of it right now. I know I'm gonna get chip damage from Rocky Helmet, but still, Rotom is like the one electric resistance he has. So getting rid of that is huge. So I get rid of this thing, Rotom, and now I pretty much like Coco can just pretty much Volt Switch around his team for free. So like now this Gallade comes in. So of course I don't want to stay in here. I could, but like I still feel like Kang has some value here, especially with the Wish Protect, since I could like stall out the Hydra. I could possibly beat Florges, and Florges right now is very low, like around 30%, and Celesteela is still there, so maybe I could probably 1v1 Celesteela with Kang if I could try, so, or at the very least get some para hacks. So I'm gonna go into Comfy, as he's gonna Mega Evolve and go for the Sword Stance. So I don't blame him for going for Sword Stance there. So since he's kind of behind, so at this point I did calc, and this is actually a roll, like in his favor to kind of like kill me here. So however, I am gonna go for Draining Kiss. So so that's gonna put the I think it was a roll, but like with Zen Headbutt to kill, and with Poison Jab it just outright kills me. So at this point I'm like, alright, so I'm gonna go for Drain Kiss no matter what, and just hope that he doesn't kill me. So and maybe that he doesn't have any, like, this is assuming that he has full attack investment as well. So because obviously with Drain Kiss it'll put me back up to 100 100% HP. So that's pretty much the play, and try to get it when weakened with Rocky Helmet. So yeah. So I'm gonna go for Drain Kiss, and I actually get a crit, doing 50%, as he goes for Zen, and it doesn't even kill me. And with the Rocky Helmet, it's now within range like of another Drain Kiss. Like it might be another roll to kill from there, but at this point Gallade is pretty much weakened. So I'm pretty much free to like Drain Kiss right now, just to get rid of this Gallade. Of course, Comfy can just pretty much sweep this team if like just keep if it's just Gallade and like Hydra. So and of course, like Gallade's Shadow Sneak Cat, I'll prioritize Drain Kiss, since it's like I think +3 priority. So yeah. At this point he's gonna go into Snorlax, and I'm just gonna go for another Drain Kiss. I do get a little crit, but of course not really that, like, I get like what, 19, well, I don't know how much I got like back. I think it was like what, 13%. So but either way I could have stayed in, but like here I was like thinking about this turn, like debating whether to stay in to like possibly get like a let's say like a Drain Kiss, or like a Sneakus, or even like a Leech, or I just go hard to Keldeo and possibly stop like this thing from setting up like, curses and whatnot. So, and I wasn't in the mood of losing Moltres to a Belly Drum boosted Snorlax, since this team is sort of similar. Well, I think this is it's like the same 6 mons he brought from like the last week's game, but it could be different. As we saw, like, these are different sets, so yeah. So I'm deciding, you know what, I'm just gonna go hard Keldeo. I might get paralyzed by a possible Body Slam, but of course he goes for Curse. And this is actually very helpful in my situation, because now I know that this thing is probably not like Belly Drum. It could be, but like at least we can like assume that this is just Curse with like 2 attacks and like maybe Recycle, or rest or whatever the hell it is. So, well, then again, he can't be rest because you know Coco with Electric Trade just kind of like I could have used that in my favor. So yeah, I go for Secret Sword. This is modest specs boosted, and it does over 83%. And I noticed that this thing is recycle variant, so at least I'm gonna be able to get another kill with this kill deal. So he's gonna lose his Florges as a sack. So the good thing is that Snorlax is pretty much very low at HP, around like around the 40s. I think it was like what? Let's see. It was at oh wait. It was at 58%. So so it's around the 50s. So but either way, we were able to get rid of its berry. So he has to recycle again if he wants to recover back. So yeah. But nonetheless, we got rid of this Florges, so of course that's good for news for us then. So out comes Celesteela, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go into like Moltres because I don't want to like send in Coco too early to this game. So he goes for sub, and I'm like, okay, this just has to be like Subseed, Stab, something, you know, Air Slash, Heavy Slam, or whatever. So I don't want to go into it just yet, if in case this thing does have EQ for some reason. So I'm just gonna go for Flamethrower, try to scout out the moveset. He goes for Seeds, and of course this thing is just gonna keep recovering up. So here I should have just went for Toxic, but I just went for Flamethrower just to be safe. But honestly, going for Flamethrower may have been like better because from this I can pretty much gauge the damage of this Hydreigon, and I could pretty much like figure out, okay, what the hell this set is, and I can pretty much, based off of that damage, it's pretty much like a I know that Hydreigon doesn't have that much like sort of like that much Spadef, so yeah. It might have some, but like based off of that damage, it probably doesn't. So of course this Hydra obviously walls like Moltres from like with of course with the Seeds up, and like with a possible taunt or Toxic that it might have. So I do try to like go for like Toxic here, since I do want to wear this thing down a little bit more for like Coco to for sure kill it, as you'll just see the leech sheet animation. But it reveals the Rock Slide, and of course I get flinched. But of course I kind of got lucky with those crits here and there. So I had to like kind of sort of like reestablish myself there. So honestly, thinking about this, I should have just stayed in with Moltres and just let it in as a sack, because this is kind of a dumb play on my end. Like I just went to Hydra or Gliscor, and like this thing gets like a very high roll, like a 47%. I'm like, all right, so I know that this thing is probably like timid or modest. So like at least I know this thing has max like special attack EVs, which is very important. So keep that in mind. That's gonna come out very soon. So I'm gonna get my healing back with Poison Heal, and I'm just gonna sack this Moltres as I should have, since I did have a mental lapse there. So I don't know why I literally sacked this. Oh, I just noticed that Showdown just changed this thing. Oh wow, that's really nice. I don't know if you see this, but like you can see the move and you can see the revealed attacks right now. So it's pretty nice and cool. I don't know if it's showing for you guys, so, but if it is, very nice end on Zarl's part. So, all right, so okay, that's a very like weird. That's a very weird stop for me there. So, long tangent aside, we are up against this Hydra versus Coco. So right now I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of like free to just spam Gleam right now, because this Hydra is right there. I know this thing is not Scarfed, and I'm calculating for a possible like you know Spadef set, and I don't think that reasonably is hit, because I know that this thing has like max special attack EVs at least. I don't know if it's timid or modest, but that gives me a lot of information to know. So I'm pretty much free to click Gleam, as this thing does reveal the Roselli Berry, but since we're modest choice specs, that's just gonna drop like that. So it's gonna drop to the ground. So now it's just Gallade, Snorlax, and Celesteela versus my 5. So Luke can still pull this out if he plays Celesteela and like Snorlax. Well, so but I have to like kind of like switch out at this point because of course Celesteela is gonna get a free Leech Seed. So, but of course this thing misses. Kind of unfortunate, but you know what? I'm gonna take those. So here I decided to go for Taunt, and he actually reveals his Mental Herb. So at least we know that Gliscor kind of semi-walls this thing with the with my set. So with Roost, with Taunt and whatnot. So yeah. So now at least I can like pretty much go for another Taunt on this thing, and I'm just gonna like go for it. So we'll go for Taunt, and he goes for Leech Seed again. As I'm getting more back from like you know, Poison Heal. So he goes for Air Slash. So I already know his third move. So Sub, Seed, Air Slash. So and we already see that right there that he only has like what he has his Mental Herb like removed, and he's at 63 with review. So and whatnot. So he goes for Air Slash. I want to see how much this does, and it doesn't really do that much. So I'm just gonna go Heart of Cocoa right now and see what he's gonna do. I know I risked him being possibly Earthquake there, or taking heavy damage from like let's say a possible Heavy Slam, but I figured that he was gonna he wasn't gonna go for that move, and even if he did, he probably wouldn't have done that much. So so here I decided to like go for Volt Switch and just like switch out, get into Gliscor, see what he does. But at this point, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Let's try to see what he does. And he reveals the last move right here, which is Protect. So at this point, I'm like, all right, Coco can basically come in every time it wants when I have this thing taunted. So all I have to do is just get up a taunt, and that's it. So, and I think Luke knows this at this point. So that's why he's gonna go hard into Gallade. As I go for a taunt, yes, this is sort of like me. I don't think this is a choke, but this is just a way for him to not set up regardless with his sword stances. So yeah. I did decide to sack Kangaskhan here because I figured, you know what, Kang is very low. I don't need Kangaskhan that much, so he could have it. So and I'm probably like, I mean, Celesteela is probably gonna wall like Kangaskhan to hell, so for whatever reason. Of course, Kangaskhan has Wish Protect itself, but I really don't want to get like caught up into that situation. So yeah. So out comes Coco, and I'm like, all right, let's try to figure out what to do here, since it's just like Coco versus Celesteela, Snorlax, and Gallade. Obviously, I could kill this thing with Thunderbolt very cleanly, but I don't want to like let Snorlax with like a in for free. Or he can't switch into like Snorlax for free as well. He has to let the Gallade be sacked no matter what. So pretty much what I'm like, or like Celesteela. So here I'm debating like what to do in the situation. So in this case, I did calc for how much would Electro Ball do, and if he's not invested, like it still kills from the range of that. So with some HP, so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go for Electro Ball. As he actually switches out and goes to Snorlax, and as you see, it just does like over 57%, and that's you see that's pretty much what I was hoping for. I could have gone for Thunderbolt, and this game would have been over right then and there, but of course I decided to be a little bit more flashy. But I wanted to ensure that Snorlax wasn't gonna like recycle as well. So as you saw right there, it probably would have, but even if it did, it probably would have been like only at about like, let's say like if he lived at around 1%, like just as you just saw, like I could just kill it with another like Electro Ball. So I'm just gonna go for another one, and of course this knocks out Snorlax. That's one huge threat out of the way. And out comes Celesteela. As he goes for Protect, obviously to stall out the electric terrains. So at this point, I'm just gonna go for another Electro Ball. Specs boosted, and yeah. And at this point, I'm just gonna switch out to Gliscor. He's gonna go for the Protect, and at this point, the game is over. So I could just go for Taunt, and he could just go for Air Slashes and whatnot. So yeah, I could pretty much go back to Coco, even if he gets a crit here as he does. Uh, I'm just gonna go for Thunderbolt, and that's gonna be GG. So good game. All right, so that's gonna be GG to BC Lukey. So Luke. So overall, this game, I guess I guess you could say like Tapu Koko was very huge in this game. From like looking at it from like both team building and from the actual battle, like being able to threaten like mons like Gallade, like our Celesteela, like Hydreigon, especially the fact that Hydreigon like we were able to deduce that it wasn't like fully Spadef, since the fact that its Dark Pulses did a lot to like we saw the mid, like we literally saw the mid man like damage rolls with that one. Like it did like 40 to Gliscor and 40 like then like 47. So that was like a huge, like that disparity right there pretty much inclined that it wasn't like, you know, as defensive. So yeah. Anyways, it wasn't very like I guess you could say the game um like I knew that the minute like I got rid of like certain mons like Rotom and like also not Keldeo, but like Florges, like this game was gonna be very Coco like heavy. So yeah. um and of course Tapu Koko was able to like glitch this one out. I do want to give like credit to like mons like, let's say maybe Kangaskhan or like Gliscor, especially Gliscor, like being able to taunt down like the Celesteela, like shut it down, and also possibly shut down, let's say, Snorlax and whatnot. So, and like yeah, that set was pretty huge for us, like being able to like taunt like Celesteela. And once we figured out that that was like a non EQ variant, even though I kind of did risk Coco a little early, so that could have been bad. So I could have played around Celesteela a little better, especially if like Comfy was a lot more and Keldeo had a lot more HP. But again, like did risk Keldeo there because like against Snorlax, since I didn't want it to be like the same belly drum set from last week, so or the last time I battled him, so in week 7. So yeah. Well, anyways, that's gonna be it. GG's to BC Lukey. As our next opponent, it's gonna be Winter Trainer or Carlos or however he goes by. So yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting game because like if you saw the week 9 matchup I had with the Winter Trainer, I literally, well, like the battle speaks for itself. So yeah. But even still, like prepping for his team is gonna be very interesting. So yeah. So again, just to Luke, and hopefully we'll be able to get a win against um what was it, Winter Trainer in the semifinals, so that way we go to a grand final. So yeah. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna be. I guess that's all I have to say. So so take care, everyone.